Hey everyone, and welcome back. Every time we do one of these deep dives, I'm always blown away by just how much there is to learn.
I know, right? It's incredible how much depth we can find in even seemingly straightforward topics.
Well, today we're going to be diving deep into the International Day for the Elimination of Violence Against Women.
Powerful topic.
Yeah, we've got some really impactful excerpts from a text that goes way back into the history and significance of this day. Really gets to the heart of why it's so vital in the fight for, well, for gender equality, really.
Absolutely. And it's a fight that's been going on for, well, far too long.
No kidding. Okay, so let's start with the basics. The UN has officially designated November 25th as the International Day for the Elimination of Violence Against Women. That's pretty loaded date.
Oh, yeah. It's definitely not just a random day picked out of a hat. There's a deep history
Yeah.
there. And the UN's choice of November 25th specifically, well, that connects us directly to the story of the Mirabal
The
sister.
Miracle Sisters, I'm not familiar.
Three Dominican political activists, they were brutally murdered back in 1960 on that very day by Rafael Trujillo's regime.
Wow, so this day is meant to, like, commemorate them.
It is. It's about remembering their sacrifice, but also, using their story to highlight the dangers that women face when they stand up, when they speak out against injustice and oppression.
I mean, their story is a powerful reminder that this struggle for equality, it's been going on for generations, right? It makes you realize just how much is at stake.
Absolutely. But their story resonates on a global level. It reminds us that violence against women, it transcends borders. It's a global issue.
Okay, so tell me a bit more about these sisters. Who were they? What made them such, I guess, prominent targets?
Their names were Petria, Minerva, and Maria Teresa. They were incredibly brave women, openly critical of Trujillo's dictatorship.
A dictatorship. So they were fighting for democracy.
Exactly. They were organizing underground movements, distributing pamphlets, risking their lives for freedom and for basic human rights.
Wow. And that ultimately led to their deaths.
Sadly, yes. Their activism led to their imprisonment. They were tortured. And then, well, they were assassinated on November 25th, 1960.
That's heavy.
Yeah.
So choosing that specific date, it adds this whole other layer of meaning to the International Day for the elimination of violence against women, right?
Definitely. It's not just about awareness. It's about action. It's a call to, join forces and actually work towards ending this violence, not just on this one day, but every single day of the year.
That's a tall order, but you're right. Awareness is important, but it's just the first step, right?
Mm.
We need action.
Yeah.
So how do we translate that, that call to action into something tangible?
Well, there are a lot of initiatives out there that are tackling this issue head on. The source material we're looking at mentions two, specifically the UN's Spotlight Initiative
They've heard of that one.
and the Unite by 2030 campaign. Both of them are pretty amazing, actually.
I mean, they're more than just awareness campaigns, right?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. They're working on multiple levels. The Spotlight Initiative, for instance, they're actively tackling the issue of femicide in Latin America.
Femicide.
Yeah, the killing of women, specifically because they're women.
That's horrifying.
It is. But the Spotlight Initiative, they're partnering with local organizations, working to change laws and to improve support systems for survivors of violence, too.
Mhm.
And they're even trying to shift cultural norms that allow this violence to continue.
So it's like a multi-pronged approach, hitting the problem from all angles.
Exactly. And then you have Unite, which is focused on prevention, lots of education, awareness campaigns, that kind of thing.
So both really important initiatives working towards the same goal. I think that's really encouraging.
I think so too. And it's not just limited to one day either. The source material also talks about the 16 days of activism.
The 16 days of activism.
Yeah, it's a period leading up to Human Rights Day, which is
Mhm.
December 10th.
Oh, right. So this is all connected to human rights in a larger sense then.
That's the point. It's all connected. Violence against women, it's a human rights issue, right at the core.
You're saying that gender equality is a human right.
Exactly. And any form of violence against women, it's a direct violation of that right. That's the message these 16 days are meant to amplify. It's a reminder that, we all have a part to play in creating a world where women's rights are actually respected, upheld, and valued.
It all circles back to that core message, taking action.
Yeah,
We all have a responsibility to get involved and do something.
couldn't agree more.
So let's take a minute to recap what we've talked about today. We've looked at the significance of November 25th, the story of the Mirabe sisters, and how their bravery really fuels the fight for women's rights. And we've seen how that global call to action is being translated into real concrete initiatives that are making a difference.
And as we wrap up this deep dive, I think the most important thing for everyone to consider is, well, what role can each of us play in ending violence against women? Not just today, not just during those 16 days, but every single day.
Wow, that's a powerful question. Really makes you think.
It should. We all have a part to play in this.
Well, on that note, thanks for joining us today on this incredibly important deep dive. We hope this has given you, some new insights and maybe even sparked some ideas about how you can help create a safer, more just world for women everywhere.
Let's keep the conversation going.
Absolutely. We'll see you next time, folks.
Take care.